Welcome to the series Debunking Wellbeing Myth in Leadership. Myth debunked, well-being is about physical exercise. Yes, it's true. A big part of well-being is about being physically active. Exercise has not only a positive effect on your physical health, it lightens the mood, it can help with depression and anxiety. Yet well-being is so much more. Let me take you on a journey to what well-being is all about. I could start out by giving you a variety of scientific definitions. Let me keep it short and simple here. The shortest one possibly is from Felicia Hubbard, Cambridge University. Well-being is defined by the combination of feeling good and functioning well. You hear me referring to this sentence a lot because it summarizes it nicely. Professor Hubbard continues on by saying, "It is the experience of positive emotions such as happiness and contentment, as well as the development of one's potential, having some control over one's life, having a sense of purpose, and experiencing positive relationships." By that, Felicia gives us the main categories of well-being. Having a sense of well-being does not mean to bounce off the walls every day with sheer happiness. It means to have a general sense of contentment, even when you have a bad day. I often get asked whether I'm happy every day and I'm Miss Positive. I'm not. Well-being is a general stream in your life. It is not preventing me from having bad times. What most people don't really understand, well-being, at least mental well-being, is much more independent of external factors than you might think. Wealth or status is not a huge well-being indicator. I've been teaching and working in the well-being arena for many years now. And I've been to different countries, including rich and poor parts of the world. Well-being can be found everywhere, as long as existential needs have been met. Having read endless definitions and articles, and having experienced very different versions of well-being, here is what I think well-being boils down to if I was to describe it. Well-being is thriving when you generally have a positive relationship with yourself, with others, and with the world you live in. Imagine 3 circles. You're in the middle, the layer around you are others, and the outer layer is the community. Well-being touches on all these layers. Well-being is nothing that is simply there or not. Well-being is something that for a big part you can influence and create. I would love to introduce you now to these well-being circles by giving you a series of questions to ponder about. Get yourself ready. We start with the inner and most important circle, that is you. The most important well-being question here is, what is your relationship to yourself? If you now say, fine, wait, let me go into a little bit more detail. Overall, could you say you love and accept yourself unconditionally? That's a big question. Let's break it down into smaller chunks to help you find a more thorough answer. How familiar are you with your mindsets, your thought patterns, and how much do they support or sabotage you, helping you thrive or making you insecure? How's that little inner voice of yours treating you, the one that is always commenting? Is it ridiculing you a lot, or is it cheering you on? Do you have a way of dealing with worries, or do they have the tendency to completely take over and letting you feel miserable? Do you know how to calm yourself down when things get difficult? Or do you swing into panic mode and stay there? What do you do if you feel real bad? Do you have coping mechanisms that help you, or are you unhealthy, making you even more miserable in the long run? Are you generally kind to yourself? Can you forgive yourself when you make mistakes? Are you in touch with your emotions? Do you recognize them when they show up? Can you handle strong emotions when they come up or do they take over? And when is that? Do you know, and by what I mean, could you actually name your character and personality strength, your deepest values? And do you aim to live by them and make decisions based on them so you feel you're in your skin? Do you feel a sense of purpose in your life? And do you find meaning in what you do? Are you home in your identity, or do you feel you want to be someone else most of the time? Are you aware which environments or factors stress you or calm you, from light settings to temperature preferences, in or outdoor? What is your relationship with your body? One of care and comfort, or one of shame, or both? Do you look after your body well? Do you listen to your body? Can you sense well what it needs? Wow, I promised lots of questions about yourself. They are aimed to give you self-knowledge and self-understanding. As more as you know about yourself, as more as you can be the captain of your well-being ship. What is required for self-knowledge is awareness and reflection. And frankly, many of us don't reflect on those questions. Do you? And where would you learn that? At home? At school? Maybe. But often we are not. Most people have not been taught to think about these questions too much. They have been asked just to get on with it. But think about it. All these questions are potential door openers to more well-being, to more happiness. You could find out which of those self-relation areas you're losing energy and lack contentment because you battle with yourself, and which ones boost you. This could give you a good indicator to decide whether you are okay or whether you want to start to investigate what you could do to find a better standing with yourself, to not only conserve but gain energy, to feel better and function better with yourself. And you can imagine how much this influences the next layer of well-being, your relationship with other people. As more clarity you have about yourself, as better you can navigate your relationship with others. For example, if you manage to treat yourself kindly, it will be much easier for you to be kind to others. Probably the biggest part of well-being is having positive relationships. Indeed, Robert Waldinger, a professor from Harvard University, just published an incredibly good book, The Good Life, in which he lays out the results of the longest study on happiness ever carried out. This research confirms that positive relationships are the happiness factor number one. Or reverse, people who feel lonely most of the time have less life expectancy, earlier cognitive decline, less well-being. Proactively working on having positive relationship in your life is a valuable skill, and it takes time and commitment to make it happen. You may want to ask yourself, who are the people in your life that you feel secure and safe with, that you can turn on for help anytime? Who in your social sphere is cheering you on, challenging you to reach your goals? Who is the person that will tell you honestly that you stuffed up and be with you as you correct your mistakes? Who just knows an answer to everything? In return, you can reflect on who can you be to other people to help them thrive? What are your gifts? What do you bring to the table to form bonds and to keep them? How do you deal with conflicts? Are you willing to learn techniques to navigate them better? There are many things you can do to be a person others want to be in relationship with. You can be trusted. You can be reliable. You can be open-minded. You could offer help. You could be kind. You could be a good listener. Do you have an idea about your personal biases and your judgments, and do you ever check on them and try to correct them? In short, are you putting energy behind your relationship and your relationship skills to improve them? If that is a yes, you have a good chance of experiencing a higher sense of well-being. Now, you have navigated yourself through two important circles of well-being, which takes you to the outer layer. Your relationship with the community, with the world you live in. Questions worthwhile considering here are: how engaged are you with what is happening around you? This connection could come in many different shapes or forms. You might be interested in the world's affairs, in participating as a citizen, using your right to vote or to be active in your neighborhood or to create a difference there. You could go beyond having opinions. You could actually take action. How do you show up at work? Do you follow your goals? Do you experience yourself as a productive and involved, interested member there? And do you go for success, or are you deprived of unfolding there? Are you willing to go beyond your comfort zone to learn new things and gain more experience in your field? The biggest question to ask here is, what is your understanding about common humanity, which is the knowing that we as humans have all a couple of things in common, because deep inside we all simply want to be happy, to be healthy, and to be secure. Can you take that stand when viewing opposing ideas and concepts? What is your unique contribution, however small it might be, to help solving some of the big questions we have in our times, from inequality to climate change? In short, do you feel you have your hands in the pie in this world in a positive way? You can see how interrelated all these layers are. You will never go on full throttle on all of these aspects. There are times in your life where you will be more involved in relationships or in accomplishments or in finding your own footing. What being conscious of your personal well-being journey offers you, however, is to stay and be engaged in your own happiness, in your own way of living this life so that you can thrive. We know that happier people are also much more inclined to reach out and support others. Happiness has a positive knock-on effect. So what you invest into your own well-being will have a positive effect on the people around you. Imagine we all had more access to well-being skills, helping us address a couple of those questions. Imagine employees and employers had more opportunities to weave a couple of these well-being factors at work into what they do, and they could work on that together, increasing their well-being together. We would reach more authenticity, more involvement, more humanness in what we do and how we approach things. We would have more and better engagement with others. We would have more success and, I believe, more happiness and more peace, more peace. So that is what well-being is, a life journey, an eye-opening one, a learning and reaching out journey, a relearning and reaching out again. And we are all in this together, no matter where we stand. Well-being is a human trait, one that helps us move forward in a positive way. Here we go. Well-being myth debunked. Well-being is so much more than physical exercise. If you want to test your overall well-being skills, hop onto my website for a free well-being knowledge test. It gives you a bit of an indication of in which well-being areas you are more aware of than others. And if you want to learn more, subscribe or hop onto my website or my Mindfulness Moment podcast. Or get in touch with me. I really would love to have a conversation. My name is Dr. Elke Paul. I'm a well-being leadership coach and professional development expert. And I dare you to live and lead with well-being.